A common problem when writing in English, and this is a recurring problem even with native speakers of English, is writing the correct your or your in the right place and time. One way to learn when to use either of the words is by understanding it syntactically. Your is a possessive pronoun, your is a contraction of the pronoun you, and the verb are marked by the apostrophe. Although the orthographic distinction would seem clear, many still struggle to remember the rules of grammar and use both words interchangeably. I figured this was because 1. They rely solely on memorizing a grammatical rule without fully understanding it, and 2. They're heavily influenced by the concept of homophones. Homophones are words that are spelled differently but sound the same, like main and main. Simple, right? Now, going back to your and your, when we can't rely on our visual memory or our iconic memory to remind us how the word is supposed to look like, and we can't remember the grammatical rules of contractions, we turn to our auditory memory or echoic memory. However, this also fails when our auditory memory has been conditioned to hear your and your as the same sound. But do they really sound the same? Are your and your homophones? I beg to differ. In linguistics, specifically in the field of phonetics, we learn about the relation between phonemes and graphemes. Phonemes are understood as the smallest sound unit of language. Graphemes are the visual representation of each of these sounds. They are completely arbitrary, meaning there is no specific reason why a specific letter represents a specific sound. The visual representation holds no correlation to the nature of a sound. We understand that B sounds like B only because we've established that and engraved it in our memory. In a language like Spanish, each grapheme or letter corresponds to one and only one phoneme. That means that the combination of T and A will always sound as ta in every word in Spanish that has this combination. Tapa, taza, tarifa, bota, atacar. In that sense, graphemes in Spanish are fairly loyal to the phonemes with a smaller degree of divergence in orthography, the aesthetics, compared to English. Now, English, whew! That's a different case. Not only is English an orthographical mess, even its graphemes are full of allophones, which mean different sounds inside their assigned phonemes. The A in talk is not the same A as in take. Same letter? Yes. Different sounds? Yes. Confusing? Again, yes. The true arbitrarity of English only means that its orthography is a complete hot mess. Laughter and slaughter are almost identical in their core spelling. You would assume that adding an S and an L to laughter would make slaughter. It doesn't. It's English. So how does this all puzzle in? Let's go back to the question. Are your and your homophones? Do they sound the same? The answer, my answer, is no. If we were to analyze it orthographically and morphologically, your and your both stem from the pronoun you. Both hold an additional R and RE respectively, but the E in the RE is not pronounced. Furthermore, the contraction eliminates the A from the verb are, leaving us only with an additional R in the pronunciation. Automatically, you would assume that because both words just add an R onto the pronunciation, they are bound to sound the same. Orthographically, they might have. Phonetically, the stem U has a variation. Y-O-U-R sounds like your or your. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E sounds like your. Your assimilates the original oo sound of you into a diphthonged R. Your transforms into more of an O, or for some, an sound. If looking at the word is not enough to know whether it belongs or not, or maybe we overpass the grammatical rules behind it, then we transition from relying on just the visual representation to the link between what's iconic and what's echoic. The goal is to create a link between the sound and the spelling strong enough to create a cognitive dissonance when you find the word in the wrong place. Something that makes you go, whoa, that does not sound right. Perhaps when we speak, we are not able to catch the difference. It's all mental. We should memorize the shape and the sound together to make sure the distinction is made when we read or when we write.